Okay, we were talking earlier about applying the furring strips, always ensuring that you leave a capillary break between a penetration or an opening and the side of the strips. So we had started to mock that up earlier. I'm going to run mine so that it's right up against the side of the strapping, so that gives me automatically a 1-inch clearance, which is plenty. 3/8 is what you technically need to provide a capillary break. Anything less than 3/8, the surface tension of the water can bridge that gap. So 3/8 and larger is defined large enough by the scientific community to provide a capillary break. So now we're going to go ahead and detail the strapping and then the doubling up of the strapping for this, the trim. Okay? I'm going to try to find the holes I used previously, and we'll go from there. So you would tend to want to avoid having furring strips that are tight against each other. You want to always maintain that 3/8 gap minimum. And again, normally you would be using a level to level these. I'm on a totally non-level structure, so I'm just ensuring that I have a consistent exposure or gap between the elements. Same thing at the edge of a wall. Leave a gap between the furring strip and the edge of the wall to provide a drainage path along the edge of the wall. Okay, so we've got our first layer of furring strips. Our cladding would come up to approximately the middle of this strip. We're going to double up the most inboard of the strips to allow for the trim piece to overlap the cladding. So I should say that the flashing that I'm using today, it came from my BCIT lab course. It was not designed as far as a extension away from the wall, proud of the wall. It was not designed for a doubling up of the strapping. It was designed for basically the single layer of strapping. So it is going to be tight here. If this was being done on a real job site, I would have obviously realized my mistake, thrown this piece away, and had a new piece fabricated. But basically it needs to come proud by another 3/4 of an inch to allow for the extra 3/4 of an inch that I've installed. So on this assembly, it's going to be tight here. That is not appropriate. You would still want to maintain that capillary break between the face of the trim and the back side of the flashing. I'm going to, on this particular project, I'm going to slide my window in from behind. If that wasn't possible, obviously you would want to be putting your window in, mounting it first. Okay, so the concept is the exposure here has been designed for hardy board, hardy siding, horizontal siding. This is 3/8 inch pressure treated plywood, so it's similar in thickness to the hardy. And pretend this is obviously much wider pieces, but the concept is this would come in and be behind the trim piece. You would attach it first, and then you would put your trim over top of it. You don't need to caulk that inside seam because it's well protected. You also don't need to caulk here, which would sort of have that zigzag look, which isn't the most attractive. But because the actual joint is back here somewhere, it's well lapped, it's well protected as the primary water shedding surface. Your water resistant barrier is in behind the strapping. So you've got two planes of protection at this location. We'll now go ahead and start detailing the header of this window.